You know what it is. You have to start off with a smile. Every time I got to touch my face when I start. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a nervous mechanism or not. But hello, hello, hello. Happy, tantalizing, terrific Tuesday to all of you. Hopefully, you had a great start of your day. I don't know why. Is it my brightness? I don't know. Maybe it looks like that. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is October. It's harvest month. Hopefully, you had a great start of your month. Sunday was the first, you know, um, you know, hey, it's the fourth quarter. So what are you doing? What type of shifts are you making? So this is what we're talking about today. You know, I am an educator in the classroom. That's why I said I'm coming live from the classroom because it's live all the way, right? So I teach middle school ELA, and I've been an educator for 15 years. So it's been pretty awesome, and this is one of the best jobs I've had. So pretty good. I'm happy and ecstatic about that. But today we're talking about real estate. It's Real Estate Tuesday. I'm a realtor as well. My name is toria.howard. If you don't know who I am, if you follow my page, I am an educator of all sorts. I educate people on real estate, educate children on ELA. But my passion is financial literacy because of the struggles that I went through when with my finances. I was a homeowner for 10 years, so I have experience with buying homes, well, a home, and I'm working towards building my real estate portfolio, doing a lot of research and studying. And now that I'm back in my hometown, in the D, what up, though, to all my Detroit people, I will be getting my Michigan license, so I will definitely be able to service you here pretty soon. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm still servicing people in the Tennessee area. And hi, Ronnie. So I'm still servicing people in the Tennessee area, and I can still refer people here in the Detroit area, but I can get you ready. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about getting ready to purchase real estate in whatever state and aspect is you want to purchase it. If you want to for your own foundation, if you want it for investing, if you just want to have that sense of security, whatever it is you want to buy a home, I have some strategies for you. I have strategies every week. So one of the things that people use to build wealth is real estate through physical or digital real estate. So it's so many different ways that you can invest in real estate. You don't have to just buy, just you of course you want to buy your own home. And Robert Kiyosaki says that if your home is a liability, then it's not an asset, right? So if you're paying too much for your home and it's not building equity and you're not maintaining it and you're not doing the things to help it grow in value, then it could be a liability. So let's show you how not to do that, right? So you have to learn how to move in the market first and foremost. So drop a one in the comments if you're watching this live, drop a two if you're new to my live, and drop a three if you're watching a replay, and I really appreciate it. Share the video, share it out to some people that really need this information. So we're talking about shifting. Are you ready to shift into home ownership? And whatever capacity that is, right? It has to be a mindset shift. Everything that you do when it comes to your money has to be a mindset shift, regardless of the fact. You know, you have to think in a different type of way. You have to move in a certain type of way, right? So, thank you for loving my earrings. Um, you have to be able to have a mindset on what the goal is and what you want to do, right? So, you first and foremost thing is start with your goal. What is your goal for home ownership? What is the reason why? What is the reason why you want to own a home? So once you figure that out, most likely, people want to stop renting. Some people want a foundation. Some people want to leave a home to, their children. They want their children to grow up in a home because they grew up in a home. There's nothing wrong with that. And children, could thrive, in any environment. But, having that, I saw when we shifted from have being a homeowner, um, to um, renting, it kind of, shifted my daughter's mindset. She loved, being in that home, being in the neighborhood, and having that sense of ownership. So, when you own your own home, even though you think that your children are not watching, they really are. It's just pants, shirt. So, it's really not, they're really watching, and they have that sense of home and security, and they feel secure when you have that home, right? But you can feel secure in an apartment, but we're talking about purchasing real estate today. So first and foremost thing, you have to know your goals. What are your goals? And anytime you are investing some type of large sum of money, you have to have a goal for it. So what is your goal for home ownership? What is your goal? You have to have a space and a place and a idea how you want your money to work, and how you want it to go, and how you want it to move. And investing in yourself and buying a home is one of them. So what is the benefits of owning a home, right? One of the benefits is, um, building equity, right? Equity is the money that, you buy your home at a certain price, and then the value goes up and your mortgage goes down. So in between that is the building of the equity. Depending on the market that you're in, it can skyrocket, it can go down, or whatever the case may be. In Memphis, it's stated in studies that Memphis real estate grows. Thank you. Um, Memphis real estate grows, um, 1 to 5% every single year as far as value, and even in a down market. So depending on of course, depending on where you are in that area, your home value is going to increase. So building that equity, will give you a sense of being able to use that money that your house is building on to invest it in something else. When you're paying rent, you don't have any. You're building equity with somebody else, but not for yourself, not for your children, not for your children's children. So, what do you need to do? It's a long term benefit. It's a long term goal, right? So, building that equity, you can take it, and not only if you pay your mortgage right? You build equity faster if you pay your mortgage correctly. Paying extra on your mortgage. I'm not talking about extra $10, extra $20, extra $100 here. You have to know what your principal payment is versus your interest payment, because on your statement it has that. And if you pay an extra principal payment every single month for about a year, you're going to pay off the mortgage faster and build your equity faster. So that is a way for you to cut off years, because when you take away that principal payment from that month that's afterwards, then it's taken off years. So if you do that for 1 to 2 years, plus the way, if you buy it in a good area, your equity is going to continue to increase. Once your equity increases, you can and take that money and invest it into another home, or buy an investment property, or move out of that starter home and use that as investment property, use the equity from that investment property to buy your next home. It's all about using your assets to buy the things that you want instead of using your cash, right? We tend to use our cash for everything. Cash should only be used for those frivolous things that we want to spend, to spend. Credit is another conversation, but you use your credit cards to pay. Okay. Okay. I'm here for it, Stacy. You use your credit cards to pay your everyday expenses, the gas, the groceries, pay your cell phone bill, you know, pay your internet bill, pay, those different things, your utilities. You pay those things, you already got the money for it. Your credit goes up, right? It's the same thing with your house. So if you're already a homeowner, know what your principal payment is and your interest payment, and paying one extra principal payment, because your interest payment is going to be more than your principal payment. So Knowing that paying the extra principal payment will help you build your equity faster on your home, where you that makes you be able to bring more, but you got to use it wisely. In order for you to do that, you need to make sure that you are investing in something else that's going to produce cash flow. Don't take money out of your house. Don't take the equity out of your house, and it's not going to produce any cash flow, because that means you're borrowing against the borrowed. Okay, you're borrowing on top of borrowing. You don't want to do that. That's going to create more debt. So that's the way that you can use your home as a wealth building tool. Use it to invest in another cash flowing asset, another business, another investment property, or another home, and use that other home as an investment property. Use it to, I know, certain people I've talked to, they sometimes use their equity to invest in, different stocks and different investments, and they diversify. Only time you take debt to, use it for something else, and if you're going to invest in something else that's going to bring you more money in the end. That's the only way. So home ownership brings you stability and control. When you own your own home, you control what what goes on in that home. Nobody, no landlord is coming to inspect it. You can't do this, you can't do that. There's no restrictions. Now if you're living in a neighborhood that has a HOA, that's something different. They might say you can't have this in your driveway, you can't have that, but that's something that you have to research. Some HOAs are more strict because they want to keep the neighborhood in a certain way. So if you know you don't want that much control over your property, then you have to research that HOA in that neighborhood. But it gives you a way to be able to customize, to your liking. Even if you buy a starter home, they have, you know, loans, the 203K loan. A lot of people don't want to buy, the fixer up or whatever. But that, I didn't mention that. Light bulb moment. That's another way to build equity faster. You buy a home that's like for dirt cheap, fix it up. You got equity already built in to your home, instead of going by that brand new home that's going to take you longer to build equity. So that's another way to build equity faster, is to buy a fixer upper. Okay. And I know a lot of people don't want to do that or whatever. You only have to stay in it for a small amount of time, 2 years, maybe 5 at the longest, depending on if you like it or whatever, however you want to move on with it. But buying that fixer upper, using a 203K loan, what that does is you have a loan for the purchase, and then they give you money for um, the construction for that property as well. So that's all in one. And then once you're done, say for instance, you buy a house, the comps in that neighborhood, comps means comparable sales in that neighborhood. You buy a house for, say the comps in that neighborhood, is 450, but you can get a home that's been distressed, that's messed up or whatever for 250, right? And if you put money back into it, say you have to put 50 grand in it, right? So, that's 300,000. Once you get done, you have $150,000 worth of equity already built in. That's the way you buy first. That's the way you buy first. You buy low. You buy low, fix it up. That built-in equity that's already in there will help you be able to build that equity faster. You could take that money and reinvest it somewhere else. You see what I said, reinvest. So that means the money's gonna make more money for you, not go and go on a trip or buy a car or whatever the case may be. You buy a car with the cash flow asset that you reinvested from your equity from your home. That's what you do that. Um, of course, there's tax benefits with home ownership. Okay, you know, um, I mean, I don't want to get into that because I'm not a tax professional, but the taxes that you pay can give you a write off on your taxes. Especially those of you that are W-2 employees, that will help you get more money back on your taxes at the end of the year. Those of you that like to wait for that, um, you know, and even if you are a business owner, you can definitely use it as a write-off as well. But business owners usually, make their property into, a business write-off as well. So they get two. So it's different ways that you can do that. Like I said, I'm not a tax strategist. I just know different people that do that these type of things. And I haven't, because I didn't work from home when I own my home. That's another tax advantage. You working from home too. So that appreciate that deducting the mortgage interest and the property tax from your income will help you get more back in your taxes. Those of you that get tax refunds. Um, and then you should take that tax refund and reinvest it in a cash flowing asset that's going to make you more money instead of, going to spend it and doing those things. If you have charge offs and collections and, paying off stuff that's already, old and all of that, I can help you with that instead of doing that. Reinvest that money and make more money off of it. So owning a home gives you a sense of community, right? I know people don't, I don't know if people value that enough. Drop a heart in the chat if you in the comments if you value community, right? Having knowing your neighbors, because your neighbors will watch out for your house now. I know you got everybody want to be so isolated into themselves. You know, a sense of community. You look out for each other. They look out for each other's. Of course, when you get to know them. Look out for each other's children and make sure your home is safe. If you know your neighbors, y'all watch out for each other. The less crime you can have. If you ever notice, there's less. It might be crime all around this one street, but this one particular street is quiet. Nothing happens on that street. Anything because there's a sense of community there. And I'm not saying live in the hood or whatever. I'm just telling you an example of what community does. It keeps you safe. It keeps your home safe. It keeps you safe. Keeps your children safe. And everybody looking out for each other keeps the crime away because people watching, people looking, right? So that is, another benefit of home ownership. And, you know, another thing, lastly, is potential appreciation. Like I talked about before, know how real estate grows in your market. Like in Memphis, real estate appreciate a 1 to 5% every year, even in a down market. Do you know how real estate appreciate in your area or wherever it is that you want to live? So you have to know their numbers when you talking about a mind shift to home ownership. You have to think as an investor. And I gave you some investment strategies. But as a regular homeowner, if you're not trying to be this big real estate mogul, nobody telling you to do that. But you still should approach your home, your primary home, as an investor mindset. Know your numbers. Know how much your home will appreciate in that area. Know how much homes are selling in that area. But you get with a real estate expert to do that. But you should also do your own research because you still want to know where to buy your home. Buy low, use a 203K loan and fix it up and build that equity faster. Pay off your mortgage faster by paying the extra principal payment for 1 to 2 years. Know what your principal payment is, and you'll knock off years off of your mortgage. Know those things. Know your numbers. So when you're buying a home, know your numbers. Don't be just excited about buying a home. Make sure that home you create that home as an asset instead of a liability. Because if you cannot afford it, it's gonna get foreclosed on. It's gonna go on your credit. You can't buy a house for 2 years, and it's gonna take a while to get that foreclosure off of your credit. Especially if you go the traditional route and you try to get it to fall off in 7 to 10 years. And sometimes they don't fall off. And even in the dispute process, it could take 2, 3 years. So depending on who gets your file. So be smart about home ownership. I know it looks good. I know we watching the Instagram and I sound old, the Instagram. You watching Instagram and you see all these wonderful, beautiful, big homes, but they come at a price. It comes at a cost. Start where you are, meet yourself where you are, and be okay with that. If you only can afford a small house right now, use that house as leverage. That's how the rich get richer. That's how the wealthy stay wealthy. They let their assets pay for the bigger things that they want instead of trying to make more money, hustle and bustle and get 2 and 3 jobs just to afford something. No, they use cash flowing assets to pay for the bigger things that they want. And I've been learning that in my financial literacy journey. listening to these millionaires and being in these rooms with these billionaires. I was in a room with a billionaire. He said that he does, if money sits in his account for 7 days, it's old money and it's getting reinvested back into a cash flowing asset. Period. Cash is used to reinvest, to buy more cash flowing assets so that you can purchase those things that you want, not your hard earned money. We got to stop trading time for money. We got to start work thinking that um, having 2 and 3 jobs is going to make us, you wasting time. Instead of taking the money that you have, living on under your means, thinking as an investor in things that you're trying to buy, buying low, fixing up, selling high, or take the equity out and reinvest. Keep doing that same thing. You keep doing the same thing. So when you're talking about shifting into home ownership, you have to shift your mindset to an investor mindset. Know your numbers. Know what the real estate, the appreciation of your real estate in your area. Of course, go to a real estate professional, but you still should know your numbers. What can you afford? They can't tell you that. A mortgage company gonna tell you that though. When you come in there, when you have all that debt and all the things, they gonna tell you, you're gonna be like, man, I make $100,000 a year. But if your debt to income ratio is over that 43%, and you don't have any cash flowing assets to offset that, you're not gonna afford the home that you think you can afford, because they're gonna tell you what you can afford. So producing those taking their cash and reinvesting it, however you get it, reinvesting it into cash flowing assets. That's how you get that bigger home. That's how you get those bigger things. That's how you get the bigger cars and all of that. The millionaires and the billionaires, that's what they do. They don't use the money that they work hard for to buy those things. They use their cash flowing assets to do that. So we have to have an investor mindset when it comes to home ownership. Know your numbers. Know what you can afford. Know, live under your means. If you know you can afford $1,500 and that's your max, why max yourself out? Do you know that a lot of people spend almost 80% of their income on housing expenses? That's a lot. You want to keep it to like 50%. That's even, you want to try to get that thing to like 30%, because you want to have more disposable income to invest in more assets so that you can get more of the things that you want with those cash flow assets instead of the hard earned money that you work for. And then thinking that and I was one of these people. The more money that I made, the more I spent. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. And a lot of people think, oh, if I made more money, I can afford more house. Yeah, look what you just said. If I made more money, I can afford more house. You're increasing your expenses with your income. Your income's supposed to be here. Your expenses supposed to be here. Now your assets supposed to match your income, though. That's the thing. But I'm gonna get off my soapboxes. I gotta go get me something to eat because I forgot my lunch today, y'all. And I appreciate you tuning in today. Go back and watch the replay. I would love to hear your thoughts on what I said. It's some great information. Share my video. Share the video, please. I'm here to educate all the time. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a real estate investor. I am a financial literacy educator. So if anybody needing credit repair or anything like that, I would love to help you get qualified. Or if you just want to better your finances and be more financially literate. The more financially literate you are, the more wealthy you are. It doesn't matter what's in your bank account. It's all about what you can manage. So I forgot to put that phone on Do Not Disturb. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day. I bid you adieu. I will see you tomorrow for Wealth Wednesday. Let's talk about it. Let's see what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. Stay tuned, right? Go back and watch this replay. Take some notes and let me know what you think. Share the video with people you need this information, because it's time out for us to be leaving money on the table, losing money, and continuously in this rat race. All right. Have a blessed day.